Okay. All right, we'll call the Green Bay Sex Offender Residency Board to meet. Roll call.
I have documented the members' presence.
If I could get an approval for the agenda for this evening's meeting.
I move that we approve the, or I second, wait.
No, you want to approve.
I want to move that we approve the minutes as written.
Agenda.
Agenda as written. I'm sorry, I was still.
That's okay.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. I need an approval of the minutes from the February 19th meeting.
Now I'll do that. I'll approve the minutes as written for the February 19th meeting.
Okay.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Hi, sorry, I missed it.
Okay, that's okay. Who's the other person on
I
there?
think the person that's on here is Tricia. Is that Dalton?
I'm here for Dalton.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so our first appeal is of Derek Woods. If you could step forward, please. And Derek, you are requesting to move to 1328 South Broadway, correct?
Yes,
Okay, and you are currently residing where?
on Shawano Avenue.
Okay.
At a TLP.
Yep. And how long have you been there?
A couple of weeks, 2.5 weeks.
All right. This is your first time appearing before us, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask you to tell us what you were arrested and convicted of. And when you speak about the victim, we ask that you don't speak about the relationship or the name of the victim. And when we say to tell us what happened, like details, don't just say, I touched her. Okay?
Okay.
All right, so go ahead and tell us what happened.
Thank you. So on October 13th of 2000, me and a group of friends went to the homecoming game at East High School. One of the friends, I guess, that I was with must have known the person, the victim. She was doing something with a couple of my friends outside of the game. She said come back to her house where there was a party. Me and a couple of my friends went. We went to her house. There wasn't no party, and we had group sex with her. It was consensual. And the police report, it does say that she said there was an assault, and then they went back to question it to say it was consensual. How we got caught was the mom just came home, just popped up. I don't know why. Maybe a neighbor or something alerted her, but she just came in, and that was pretty much it. I don't know her. Never met her. Just I think these were some friends of mine that knew her from going to East High School back then.
And how old were you?
I was 18 and she was 15.
Okay. Okay.
I had the same question.
Okay. And then from that, did you plead guilty? What happened at court?
Along the lines of that, yes. I think so. It was like a no contest or whatever.
Okay. And how much time were you sentenced to?
They gave me 1 year in prison for that and 2 years on extended supervision.
Okay. All right. Now, we do have a representative from the Green Bay Police Department, Captain Oberman. He's going to hopefully have a copy of the criminal complaint just to confirm what you said was correct. Captain, would that be accurate?
Yeah, the information he gave is pretty accurate.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Okay. Do you guys have any questions about his crime? No?
No.
No,
Okay.
no questions.
Okay. Mr. Woods, if we want to talk to you about treatment, you do have the option to go into closed session, which means everybody would have to leave the room, or we would stay in open session and we would just freely talk with everyone present.
Yes, that's fine. Open session is fine.
Okay. So did you, were you ordered to do any kind of sex offender treatment?
Yes and no. I don't think that my agent, he didn't really say something at the time about me doing it, but I did complete it right after getting out of incarceration in 2004. The statutory education route, and I completed that.
And where did you complete that at?
It was in Allegheny County, the probation and parole office.
Okay. All right, and you didn't have documentation for that one, correct?
I think I did give it.
I only had, you had it?
It's these sheets.
Oh, that's what that is?
Yeah, it's written in there, those, it's like a ledger.
Oh,
And I
okay.
sent the notes, so I also had.
And then there was a certificate in there.
Okay, I did see the certificate for
Yeah.
anger management.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you should have these as well.
Okay, yep, I did. I didn't know what that exactly was for. Okay, so can you tell us, how long then were you in that treatment for? Did you say?
Yes, I was in there for about 4 to 5 months.
Okay.
After I got out, we did weekly sessions, me and some other guys in the community and my agent, and he had someone that would come once in a while to speak on, what was all going on, treatment.
Okay. And what would be your biggest takeaway from that treatment? Like, what did you learn?
Just about trying to make better choices when it comes to people, kind of sleeping around, asking more questions and being more involved, I guess. I think so. I put myself in an unfortunate situation at that time, and so to be more alert and aware.
Okay. Any concerns or issues with drugs or alcohol?
No.
Okay. All right. Then I wanted to ask you here, you gave us a continued, before I go any further, did anyone have any questions about the treatment? Okay.
No.
You gave us this continued criminal history.
Yes.
And it says, currently incarcerated for revocation from the 2000 party to a crime case. And you're gonna let us know why it stretched and went on for so long.
Yeah.
Explain that, please.
It just did. I was locked up and I got a sentence of 3 years extended supervision, a whole bunch of stuff like with small revocations, and I think it was fairly new to truth and sentencing at the time. One of the warrants that they put out for my arrest when I decided to just abscond and went through a stage, they said jurisdictionally don't come back to the state of Wisconsin. So that's what kind of kept it, I think, and I didn't know what jurisdiction meant at that time, but it's a lot of little things, clerical errors that seem to stretch out for a long, long time.
And what was that 2000 party to a crime case? Is that what you're saying is the sex offender case?
No, that's an original case that I was sentenced on in 2000.
What was that?
Huh?
What was that case?
That was party to a crime, robbery.
Okay.
That gave me 2 in and 3 out in the year 2000, and it just seemed it just stretched out a lot from small revocations and some clerical errors.
Okay, because, I mean, no offense, your criminal history is a little lengthy, and there's some of it that I don't think we could access on CCAP. Does that sound right to you? Because I couldn't,
I pulled what I could.
yeah, I couldn't find this 2000 case that you're talking about. Who,
I have it up. It's
you
on
do?
CCAP.
Oh, it was? Where was that conviction out of? What county?
Brown County.
Did I miss that?
Okay,
I also have something on CCAP too, if anybody, just what it looks like.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, there's a robbery with use of force, party to a crime, from, looks like Judge Griesbach may have been presiding over it.
My apologies, I missed that.
Okay, yeah, maybe I missed it on CCAP then, because I tried to cross-reference some of them.
Yeah, Judge Hammer has been presiding over like the more recent
Okay.
hearings.
Okay. And then, so you just recently got out of prison?
Yes.
And was it for the revocation, or was it for a new case?
It was for the revocation of the party to the crime robbery.
Okay. And how much time did you get for that?
1 year and 9 months.
Oh, so that is a really old case then.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, and are you working yet? Did you find a job?
Yes, I did at Ryder in Green Bay.
Ryder?
Yes, ma'am.
What do you do there?
I'm going to be a forklift operator. I actually just got the acceptance letter because I just came home trying to be as diligent as I can to get to work in. I have my commercial driver's license, so eventually I'm hoping to transfer over to become a truck driver with Ryder.
Okay, okay. All right. And you plan on living with Alicia?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that your girlfriend?
Yes.
Okay,
And longtime friend and girlfriend.
okay, all right. Okay, anybody have any other questions?
So, I do. I guess my biggest concern in reviewing your file was all of the CCAP things, and I was having also trouble putting it all into order. So you had the one crime in 2000, and then you had the sexual assault crime. All of the other things in there refer back to that 2000 case, or I guess can you shed light on,
So,
because it was
yes.
pages long.
Well, in 2000, when I did catch that party to the crime robbery, that's when the conviction was. And in the same year was the sexual assault. So it all happened within a small amount of time. I was convicted with Judge Griesbach gave me 2 years and 2 years in incarceration and 3 years extended supervision. And then Judge Nazi gave me 1 year consecutive to the party to the crime. So that would put me at having an extended supervision of 5 years. During that 5 years, it was a lot going on with my record. I was not in a state, I didn't take accountability at times, then I did, then I didn't, then I did. I just went through a super rebellious stage. 18 years old, I just didn't understand it. So when you look at it, it does have like operating after revocation, a lot of tons of misdemeanors. But like, my girlfriend was saying, there is a substantial gap in between me catching and getting in trouble. I haven't been in trouble in quite a long time after 2011 until I just had this issue a couple of years ago. So it does look like a lot. I've seen the videos and I wanted to explain that. I was just going through some stuff. It's terrible, it's embarrassing, but I'm trying to move forward and clean myself up behind that.
Okay. All right. No more questions?
No more questions.
No more questions? Okay. Do you have anybody that wants to speak on your behalf?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Alicia.
Okay, could you please step forward? And then if you could just state your name and address for the record, please.
Alicia Williams, and it's 1043 Western Ave, Green Bay.
Okay. All right. How long have you known Mr. Woods?
25 years.
Okay. All right. And so you've been with him throughout most of his criminal
Yeah.
history?
From when he was 17 and reckless and young and dumb to now where he's growing up into a grown man making better choices.
Okay. And throughout that time, like what kind of, like how have you noticed, what do you think made the change for him?
I think that now it's that he's became more active with his children and growing up, and he's recently, with his incarceration, his mom passing, he's really turned into that grown-up phase. And I've seen in the last 5 years the shift in accountability, where he's really taken responsibility for his actions and been like, hey, I was young, dumb, I was a fool he made. And seeing him go back to school now, getting his CDLs, focusing on working, staying out of trouble, he's made some major turnarounds, and I got to witness that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to tell us?
No, that's
No?
it.
Okay. Anyone has questions for her?
No.
No.
Okay.
Thanks.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody have any thoughts?
I move that we approve,
We'd like to discuss a little bit first. That's
sorry.
okay. That's okay.
I'm new to this.
That's
committee.
okay. Yep, yep. So, it sounds like you're gonna want to approve him, but, so tell us why you have no concerns about him?
I do have a few concerns, but, so the approval on the sexual assault claims, I'm not as concerned about the sexual assault portion of it. I mean, yes, it was a minor and you were not a minor, but it was a consensual thing, and I tend to go easier on that. My concerns were really when I reviewed your record with the continued problems with other non-sexually related criminal events. But you seem to describe that pretty well. And you seem to have a support system that you're trying to live with. you have a job. And that, I guess that's where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, in regards to the sexual crime, I mean, you've committed a lot of crimes since then, but you haven't repeated that one, so for me, that was a big plus. So I didn't have an issue.
No, same here. I was wondering on your anger management certificate, nobody ever signed it. Do you know why?
Oh, I don't know, I just actually, I got that not too long ago from the Allegheny County Sheriff's Department. I wanted to have that if you guys can have that
Okay.
as well.
I see your name is printed on it, so I assume.
Yeah, I think the lady at the department said that there was, I think I have the original, and she somehow had it for that group, so that's what she printed out.
What was the reason for going through the anger management?
Just stuff that I went through with a past relationship. So I just took the course along with some other courses in there. You know,
Okay.
Took all courses, actually, just trying to keep busy and keep my mind focused.
And was this required of you, or did you just decide to do it on your own?
I just did it on my own.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, would anyone like to make a motion?
Sure, I'll make a motion that we approve, I forgot his name.
Mr. Woods.
Mr. Woods for the Western Avenue address specific.
Nope. Right here.
Okay, I move that we approve Daryl Woods for living at 1328 South Broadway, address specific.
And I second that motion, that movement.
Okay, all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Right.
Opposed? Okay, you're good to reside there.
Thank you.
If at any point you do decide to move from that location, and it's within the city limits, you will have to come back.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, the next appeal is of Dalton Plumley.
Question really quick.
Who's asking that?
Tricia.
For Tricia, yeah. I have to go pick up my son actually at 4:30 here. So am I able to speak on his behalf before we start?
Okay. Oh, no, can she speak on before we hear?
I mean, that's up to the board. We can take down her information and, I mean, it's a little out of order, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's still speaking to this agenda item.
Sure. Does anyone have a concern with that?
I don't.
No? Okay. All right, go ahead, Tricia, tell us.
Name and address.
Oh, yeah, we'll need your name and address for the record, please.
Sure, my name's Tricia. My address is 1023 Am Park Drive in De Pere.
Can I get your last name, Tricia?
Peterson?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and how do you know Mr. Plumley?
I'm the mother of his child.
All right, and what do you want to tell us about him?
I just want to say that, after him, being out of prison for a year, he's been homeless for the year, trying to find a new place to live, to have more stability with his children. Sorry, I have a 2-year-old with me too, hold on. It just would help him, his child, mentally and emotionally to be able to be stable and to be able to see his children more, to be able to take his kids overnight, stuff like that. I've seen a lot of growth with him in the last year, to him having a new baby and stuff. So just for him to be with his girlfriend and his baby at this new location.
Do you just have one child with him?
Yes, I have one and he's 10.
Okay. While he was incarcerated, did you have any contact with him during that time?
Correct, yeah?
You did? Okay. All right. Okay. Any questions for her?
No.
No?
I do not.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you, have a great day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, Mr. Plumley, again, you've never been before us, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to ask you to tell us what you were arrested and convicted of. And when you tell us about the situation, we don't want you to list the victim by name or relationship.
Okay.
Okay? And then when you're done, we have Captain Operman from the Green Bay Police Department who's going to confirm that you told us everything that was accurate.
I can try to remember best I can. So,
Okay. All right, go ahead.
It happened, I got served papers in, I want to say it was end of 2013, beginning of 2014. I had fought the case for about a year and a half. I was charged with secondary sexual assault of a minor. I was 21, she was 15, turning 16. Excuse me. I provided the alcohol and the drugs. We did smoking, get high. It happened in 2 different counties. It was the same victim. I slept with her in Marinette County and Brown County, but when I took the plea agreement with Brown County, Marinette County consolidated to Brown County. The events happened over about a 2 to 3 week span. That's all I really can remember from how far ago it was.
Did you know she was 15?
At the time, I didn't. I didn't know she was 15 until her mother. She told me to come pick her up, but I had to wait till her parents. So I ended up going to pick her up, and her mom happened to be there, and I was under the impression that she was 18, because when I worked at a haunted house, she worked out in the woods, which out in the woods, you had to be 18. It was only a little, like that. Excuse me, I'm chewing on my gum. That is how the offense happened.
Okay, and so you said you slept with her. Like, you just had intercourse? Was there more?
There was a little oral, but it was mostly all intercourse.
And how many times do you think you did that?
It was over a period of 2 weeks. I honestly can't give an exact number.
Okay. And then how come did you take her to Marinette County?
Yeah, my family has cabin up there, and we went up to see them. We were actually going to the Marinette County Fair, and we ended up spending the night at a friend's house, and we slept together there a few times.
Okay. And at what point during the 2 to 3 week time frame was it that you met her mother?
More towards the end.
And did the mother at that point tell you she was 15?
Yes.
And then did you continue to have sex with her?
No, ma'am.
Did you end if it was a relationship?
Yep, I ended it completely. Cut all ties from her. Didn't talk to her ever again. None of that.
Okay. So then why did the police get involved and charge you?
Because the parents had pressed the issue to pursue charges.
Okay.
And I had fought it, like I said, for about a year and a half, maybe 2 years.
Okay.
And I got sentenced to 1 year county, 5 years paper. I ended up messing up on my probation. I got revoked. I had a withheld sentence. I had withheld sentence of prison for 6 years, 4 out. I am currently, obviously, I'm on probation. I am in classes that I'm supposed to be taking. I got the letters from, well, Jim anyway. I didn't get a chance to get to my AODA teacher.
Okay. So you have well, we won't talk about treatment quite yet. Before we go any further, I just want to confirm with Captain Operman that what you've told us is accurate.
Yeah, I'm unable to tell about whether he knew if she was 15. I don't remember that in the criminal complaint. There was a number of sexual encounters. It usually involved drugs or alcohol. So as far as him saying that he didn't know until later on, I don't know. I mean, I'm assuming this stems around that she was 15, he was 21. And there is some question in the criminal complaint as to everything was consensual or was consensual, so.
You're saying that there's a question whether it was consensual?
Yeah, there are statements in there that identify that the person said it was not consensual, but if you read the whole criminal complaint, it's hard to tell. I mean, there is obviously drugs and alcohol involved.
Okay, thank you. Do you have a comment about that? Like why maybe she would say it maybe wasn't consensual?
No, because from what I understand is when I went and got sentenced, the judge had ruled it as consensual.
Okay. So every time you had an encounter, it was you were using drugs or alcohol?
So Most of the time, yes.
Okay. And, so now, you get all this stuff taken care of. When did you get out of prison for this then?
January 16th, 2024.
Okay. And, you attend, okay, I'm sorry. If we talk about treatment, do you want to do that in open
Yeah,
session?
That's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. When did you got out of prison in 2024? Where did you do your treatment at?
I am actually currently enrolled in treatment with Family Services with Jim Drake.
Okay, and you said you had some paperwork from
Yeah,
him.
from
Could we
him.
see that, please?
Yes, ma'am. Right now, it's on hold because I'm trying to get my insurance in order. But there are the paperwork that he had written for me. I didn't get a chance to go to my AODA teacher because she's only there 3 times a week. And with work and everything, I really
Okay.
didn't have a lot of time.
All right. So Mr. Plumley provided me a document from Family Services, stated he has been in treatment since June 3rd of 24 and has had 17 appointments to address issues related to sex offender treatment. Treatment goals include healthy legal boundaries and limits, developing a workable relapse prevention plan, increased victim empathy skills, and related problem solving and decision-making skills. Then there's an updated one that was dated on March 18th that says he was seeing a total of 19 sessions since February 21st of 24.
It's probably a conclusion of everything since my insurance is up and I gotta renew my insurance. That might be all the sessions that I have taken.
Okay. It says he's been adjusting his time to address his treatment schedule. Also, it's currently on hold until his insurance gets straightened out.
Yeah, and that should be by tomorrow.
Okay. Does anyone want to take a look at these? Or-
No.
Okay. Do you need these?
I can go make a copy. of it.
Okay, we'll make a copy of these. All
I
right.
don't know if you guys, that portion in the criminal complaint that I'm talking about related to the question of sensuality.
Oh, yes, please.
So the criminal complaint, and I'm guessing this is the first incident, the defendant in this case, had taken off her clothes or the victim in this case had taken off her clothes and was asked if she wanted to have sex. She responded, no, I'm comfy. The defendant asked again. She said no. The defendant continued to encourage the victim to have sex and eventually asked her to crawl on top of him, which she did. So, and at this time it looked like she was highly under the influence of alcohol. So that's what I'm referring to.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Treatment, so you're doing that right now. And when did you start AODA?
Around the same time that I had started. I think it might have been a month later after I started with Jim.
Okay. Did you take any kind of treatment classes at all while you were in custody?
No, I did not. I had tried. I was at Fox Lake Correctional. They said that they don't do it for people unless it's 6 months and closer. And then I got to my last year, and I still wasn't put on the list. And then they came to me with only a few months left, and there wouldn't have been no time for me to finish my program in prison.
Okay.
So my PO highly suggested for me to enroll myself in with Family Services.
Okay. All right. So since you got out in January, have you been homeless this entire time?
Yes, between living in my truck, hotels, or just recently, I've been actually staying in my grandma's camper in De Pere. And then I happened to come across these landlords while we were looking for a place, and they were willing to rent to us and give me. I have no rental history or nothing. I lived with my grandparents my whole life.
Okay.
Between my mom and my grandparents on both sides is who raised me.
Okay. All right. And Are you working?
Yes, ma'am. I am working at Folkman Inc. in Howard. I am a welder fabricator there. I work 38 hours. We get paid for 40. I work weekly. I'm working every week, every day of the week,
Okay,
except for Saturday and Sunday.
all right. Anybody have questions? I feel like sometimes I talk a lot, so.
I do not.
You covered it pretty good.
Okay. All right. So I do want to go back to the treatment, and I want you to tell us you've got quite a few sessions under your belt. What's the biggest thing that you've learned from the treatment?
Pretty much take ownership and accountability. Kind of work through the pointers of what led me to the grooming and everything like that. We talked about reoffending. I have no feeling whatsoever to ever reoffend. We have talked about, because I did struggle with drugs. I did struggle. He's been working with me with that, and we've been pointing out my triggers. Same with AODA. I've been sober now since, well, I take that back. I dropped dirty for THC a few weeks back with my probation officer. But I was really struggling with cocaine. I ended up getting put on a 4-day timeout for my probation officer, and I've been clean ever since. And it was in August of last year.
Okay. All right. What would be your triggers?
Just being around negative influences, stuff like that. That's why I've been kind of surrounding myself with the people who I have. Mm-hmm. My fiance, my daughter, my grandmother, my son's mom, my daughter. I'm actually supposed to go get her today for a little bit. But that's what I just completely closed down my whole circle, and I really only talk to certain family members and my family, like my fiance and my baby and my kids and my grandma. That's literally all I talk about. I don't really talk. I talk to my mom, I talk to my dad, but I really don't mingle as often like I used to.
Okay. Okay.
How come?
No.
Oh,
Okay.
I thought you said how come.
Okay.
I apologize.
Yeah, no. And so, how long have you known you said fiance?
Yeah, we have known each other for over 20 years.
Okay.
We were actually middle school sweethearts. Yeah.
All right.
I was wrestling, she was on the dance team. So.
Okay. And baby is how old?
She is gonna be.
Little over 2 months.
Yep, she was born a year after I got out of prison. She was born right on the day, a year after I got out.
Okay. All right. Okay, I don't have any other questions.
I've got a
Okay.
question. Are you involved with any other groups as far as social groups or church groups or men's groups or anything like that?
No, sir, I am not.
Have you thought of it?
I don't really go down, like, it depends on what you mean by that, because, like, I won't go to, like, a Christian thing or something like that, like, because I'm pagan, so.
Okay.
But I have thought about it, but I also, I talk to my support. I just feel like I wouldn't need to go to that kind of thing because I'm not struggling with it anymore.
What I was looking at is like groups like Elks Lodge or something like that, or
No, I never even knew.
kind of you get more of a male influence.
I could look into it. That would be greatly appreciated to
Something
look
to
into
check on.
something like that. Yeah, just to have more.
Thanks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have anyone that wants to speak on your behalf? I know we had Trisha.
There's Grandma and then my
I
fiance.
know he could probably join the lodge from Alaska, which was the, I can't think what Grandpa Plumley was in. It's a lodge.
Jaybirds.
No.
Oh, but don't leave.
Oh, I thought
yeah,
they were
no,
going to come in.
I
I apologize.
Do either of you want to come forward and speak on his behalf?
Well, he's really trying, I know his kids too.
Okay,
More
if,
part of his
if you do want to speak on his behalf, I know,
You-
you could just stay there, but I would just need you to state your name and address for the record, please.
I'm Diane Plumley. I live in Howard at 3235 Evergreen Avenue, Green Bay, Wisconsin. My zip code's 54313. I'm
Okay.
his grandmother. His grandfather passed away 2 years ago from Agent Orange. He was radio man in Vietnam, so I lived there with my dog. And I have 4 kids, but they're adult kids and they're all got their lives. And they don't want to associate with me because they think things happen that should know with their father, his grandfather, but it's what it is. But we helped raise Dalton between his mom Jennifer and his stepdad Jeremiah, and then his dad Mark Manchowski up in Marinette. And we all raise him, and he's trying to associate with his kids more and more. He wants to try and get custody of his oldest daughter that's up in Michigan, because mom moved to Michigan and nobody's been able to see her at all. And then he picks up his daughter Serenity, and he picks up his son Axel, and then he has another son with his fiance that he gets to talk to and stuff on the phone, because he has to have permission to be around other people other than his kids and his guardians, which is me and Axel's mom, Tricia Peterson. I don't know what her married name is, but he has to be around us in order to be with the kids. And then he has 2 brothers, Mason and Ethan, that live with his mom, Jenny Pinchard, and Jeremiah Pinchard, that he's allowed to be around too. But Mason is mad. His middle brother's mad that he went to prison, so just Ethan to speak to him, or his mom and stepdad.
How much younger are they compared to you? How old are your brothers?
My little brother Mason is just shy of 13 years younger than me, and my brother Ethan is 40.
He's junior.
Maybe 9? No. 14, 15 years younger.
But they're not kids, right? I
No,
mean,
they're like
over
15,
18.
16. No, my little brother Mason's graduated
From Bayport.
from Bayport. My little brother Ethan, I think, is either graduating within the next year or the following year.
Okay.
And then I have my little brother Alex that lives up in Michigan by my dad, but I don't really talk to him either.
Okay, all right. And so, Mrs. Plumley, have you seen changes in Dalton
Yes.
since, this incident happened?
He holds a job all the time, and he's had his job in Marinette, but then they let him go because he took maternity leave with his fiance to be around the baby that was in the NIC unit, because she was only 4 pounds 8 ounces when she was born and stuff, and he's working really hard to do stuff with his kids, even though the charge that he's on, he's not allowed to go to parks and stuff, but he tries to go fishing with them. We have picnics at Bartonhausen and Swamico and stuff, or we'll go by the boat landing in Green Bay where the boats dock to go out into the Bay of Green Bay and stuff and have picnics together. So-
Okay,
And he's been, like he said, he's homeless, and he was using my camper for the winter so he wouldn't freeze.
okay,
So I kept filling the propane and gas and stuff, and that's gotta be fixed now, so he's really trying to get in his apartment so he can be with his kids more, do more things. But the village in Howard won't allow him to be on my property, because when he was first there, he was homeless, and he was never homeless before, so he slept in his truck twice in my backyard, and they gave him fines for that. And Officer Dewey actually gave me a fine stating my camper was on the road, and it never was. It was on my driveway. We were really trying to keep him from being homeless, so he had to go from 2 different truck stops, and he couldn't be in the village of Howard. So the neighborhood watch people are across the street from my house. They actually call and harass me on the phone because I'm associating with my grandson to not be homeless and be able to be with his kids. And I ask them nicely at the board meetings to please just leave us alone so we can live our lives and you live yours. And somebody started laughing and didn't like it. but
Okay.
he's really trying.
Okay, thank you. Anyone have questions for her?
No.
Okay, thank you. And,
I'm Alexis Martin. I'm at 1405 South Norwood. I've
No,
known
not
Dalton
yet.
for,
Not yet. 32, 35 is where we're at right now, where you're at.
we're on that, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get in.
yeah, we need your address right
Okay,
now.
Then it's the 3235 South, or Evergreen Avenue.
Okay,
And I've known Dalton for over 20 years. We're each other's middle school sweethearts first. So I've seen a lot of changes in him, you know, through the years, and especially when he went to prison, I kept tabs on him. And when I seen him when I got out, I didn't recognize him, just simply because he's, you know, trying to better himself. And he takes accountability, he takes responsibility, and that's a big thing that I've seen with him. And I think honestly, that's the most important thing. But he's held a job, and when he got let go from Maronite, he got a job right away, so I have no concerns with that. But I just want to be able to, you know, raise our child and have our own home.
are you at all worried about what the neighbors might think? Like, obviously, in Howard, you're having
People are gonna-
harassment.
People are gonna think what they're gonna think.
Mhm.
I know what happened, we've talked openly about what had happened, and I'm not concerned about anyone else other than my family.
And is your family supportive of him?
Yes.
Okay.
Just to let you know, my close neighbor is right around my house, because I've been in the village of Howard for all my life. My family had a farm on Cardinal Lane, where the animal hospital is now. And the neighbors right around me support him, that he's doing better. But
Okay.
they didn't allow the recordings or speak at the board meeting in the village of Howard, so.
Okay.
That's what it is. We're
Sure.
just trying to stay our lives and make it stay theirs.
Okay, all right, thank you. Did you have anything else, or are you?
No,
good?
that's-
Okay, all right. So I don't really have any concerns. I like that you have quite a bit of treatment under your belt already. I like that you are still addressing the EODA issues.
Also, one thing I'd like to add, when I was in jail after my year, I ended up getting an ATR for 6 months. Well, not 6 months, it was 77 days, where I went to RCI Correctional Institution for intense therapy, which was a class, I want to say it was like SOT 3 or 4. It was one of the worst ones, and we had to do it within 77 days, and it was pretty much classroom study, classroom study. That's all it consisted of.
Why'd you get the ATR?
Because I failed the polygraph. I messed up. When I first got out of jail, I was being reckless, thought I was untouchable, and it came and bit me in my butt.
So you were reckless. How? What did you do?
I just wasn't listening to probation. I didn't give a flying hoot.
Okay. Okay. And so how long are you on paper till?
I get off January 2028.
And are you on a bracelet right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Will the bracelet come off if you get
Since I have
approved?
2 counts, I don't think it will.
Oh,
Because I was under the impression that I was grandfathered into it, but now there was a new law that passed in 2018 that a registrant with 2 counts or more has to be on GPS for life.
do you know about that? Is that, I'm not familiar with.
There was a change to the law.
Oh, okay. So you'll have that on the rest of your life then?
Yes, unless I can try to fight to get it off.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I always tell people that if you're a sex offender and you're on the bracelet, that a lot of times it's for your protection also.
Yep, that's exactly
So-
what my PO said.
Yeah.
Because there was a couple times that my bracelet had went off, saying that I was at my grandma's when I wasn't. Like, I was at the end of her driveway and it sent a warrant out. So I know it's definitely saved me
Yeah.
more times than not.
Yeah. So, Okay, well, even knowing that, I don't have concerns. I heard her mention 1405, but I have that you're requesting to move to 1402.
That's my mistake.
Oh.
All the other paperwork says 1405. That is my mistake.
Oh, okay. 1405.
Yes.
Yeah,
All
I
right.
got pretty bad handwriting. I got
Yeah.
really bad chicken scratch.
All right.
1405, apartment 8.
Okay, apartment 8. Yeah, I don't have any concerns.
I don't do that.
No.
No, I'm fine too.
Okay. All right. Does anyone want to make a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept address specific
The 1405,
1405
South Norwood.
South Norwood.
Okay.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. All in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay, you are approved to reside at the 1405 South Norwood, number 8. Again, if you would decide to move from that location, you do need to come back if you're going to live within the city of Green Bay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Yep, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay.
Always be wary out there. It's so windy, it almost knocked me over.
Yeah,
It's like
sorry.
60 miles an hour wind.
Yeah.
It blew my car twice.
Oh, my goodness.
All right, you guys drive safe. Thank you all.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yep. Okay, anything that we have to discuss? No? Thank you, Captain Operman, for your time. Okay, our next meeting is scheduled for April 16th. I will tell you right now, I will not be at that meeting. I will be on vacation, so somebody will need to fill in for me.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Because you're still pretty new, but
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll figure out something.
Yeah, you'll be fine. You'll be
Well,
fine.
we can also reach out to Alex to let him know that he will be needed for that meeting.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Well, let us know better enough to at least attend virtually, because this morning I wasn't quite sure, so.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Okay, then we just need a motion to adjourn.
I motion that we adjourn.
And I'll
Second,
second it.
all in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
I think we're done.
Yeah,
What's an ATR?
alternative to revenue.
Recording stopped.
So
So,
like